Section 4, Stay Relevant. Chapter 13, Problem and Possibilities. Now that you've looked at what it means to be real and get raw, you're going to jump into your third component of the code, stay relevant. I want to remind you as we begin this that we're discussing the foundational operating systems inside of your mind and heart, the way you think and operate as a man when it comes to creating and producing in all four areas of life. But there are problems within this game of relevancy. That's also why relevancy was born. Problem number one, you're a real and raw drive-by shooter with no focus. You've never before been real or raw. It's like having a new toy or a new pet that you want to share with all your friends and show how awesome the dog is and the tricks he can do. It's the show and tell stage of being real and getting raw. In the beginning stages, with this newfound power of being real and raw, it becomes a weapon. In a world of liars, as you begin to find the power inside of yourself to speak what's true for you, most people will not accept it at first. Logically, as you enter the frame of the facts and emotionally in the framework of the fire, it's married up to those facts, you create a life for yourself and a game of leadership that most people do not and cannot understand. That piece, though, ultimately comes with some responsibility. I did this for several years. I would just randomly, with no purpose or order, blast the world with my real and raw truth. My behavior was not very useful to them or me. Every emotional outburst brought about the same end: explosion with no focus. I was a gun, out the window, driving by and shooting whatever was out there, with my feelings, my thoughts, and my stories, with zero fucks given about the consequences of who I hit or what happened. It just felt good to have my finger on the trigger of my feelings and be able to torch life, Rambo style, with a giant fire blowtorch. I blowtorched my wife. I blowtorched my friends. I blowtorched my children. I blowtorched my parents. I blowtorched people at business events, my clients and employees. Yeah, I was a drive-by shooter, shooting everybody with my feelings with absolutely no focus whatsoever. Problem number two. You're high on the release and have forgotten that it is simply the first steps to getting what you want. You have to be real, get raw, stay relevant with the ruthless commitment to big-ass results today, right? That was the frame we initially started our conversation with. And those are the four components of the code. In the beginning stages, there's an addiction and tendency from the minute you hit the teeter-totter to tilt. And the minute you tilt in this conversation, you start to experience the real internal power which comes from living by the code. There is a high, like a drug that comes into your veins. It's like you can't get higher than what it feels like to be free. Free from the stories, free from the lies. Freedom is nothing to hide from the people that you're talking to, and that is an incredible feeling. You come to recognize that inside of doing that, you're gaining a tremendous amount of certainty and power. Being authentic is ultimately a potent and addicting feeling. Men will often get high on this release inside of their addiction to this newly found drug they have discovered inside of the code. In so doing, they forget that what they're doing is moving towards what they want. And because they're so addicted to the stage, they don't move forward in getting what they wish to without focus. Problem number three. You don't know what you want in the short term. Listen, you want to feel good. Inside the space of feeling good, you sacrifice on the altar the rest of your life with this idea of feeling good today, of feeling good in this particular moment. But you fail to recognize that you don't have any guiding principles that are operating or driving you forward when it comes to knowing what you want in the short term. The short term being today, at this moment, a few days, a few weeks, or maybe even a few months from now. If I polled most individuals, particularly men, and asked them what they want at this moment, most of them would look at you with the stank blank stare. The other half would look at you with the following thoughts. What the fuck? Stop asking me these questions. Most men have no idea where the fuck they're going. They don't have a clue. They couldn't tell you what they're really up to this week or what they're committed to this month. They definitely couldn't tell you what they're committed to this quarter. And for God's sakes, there's no possible way to fucking tell you what they're up to over the next 12 months. They're just trying to deal with what is today. That's it. No knowledge or clarity on what they want in the short term, and this triggers a drive-by shooter of emotions and feelings. When men find the code and have no clarity of where they would like to go, they default to the thing that feels good. What is that? They spew their emotional shit on the world. It feels good to release your rage. It feels good to deal with your anger. Feels good to deal with your happiness, joy, and pleasures of all the same time by dumping it on everybody else. But in the end, without focus, you're left with chaos. Problem number 4. You don't know what you want in the long term to drive your short-term decisions. Let's say you're in a situation where you want to release your energy and truth through being real and getting raw. But inside of that, you have no governing clarity for where you're going in the short or long term. Your long-term experience is knowing the target or vision of what you're trying to shoot. Ask yourself, where are you trying to go right now? What is the long-term vision you have for your life 12 months from now? What do you want when it comes to your body? What do you want in terms of being and balance and business? These are such simple questions, yet most men can't answer them. They don't know what they want. They have no idea what they want in the short term or the long term. And because they don't know what they want, this new feeling of being real and getting raw becomes addictive. But what it doesn't become is productive. Now, when we insert relevancy, which is our third piece of the code, this all changes. There's a new possibility that opens up when we now bring into effect the following. We know where we're going in the short term and the long term. We're no longer shooting whatever's around us, but instead we're lining it up, and inside of our lineup, boom, off we go. Possibility number 1. You have become a sniper with your real and raw thoughts and emotions. You're no longer randomly spraying as the shotgun guy. You're a sniper. You may not take nearly as many shots, but the shots that you do take are precise. As you become relevant in your equation, your focus begins to change in how you handle these feelings and emotions. You don't just let them out anymore just to let them out. You let them out with the relevant focus to accomplish a specific outcome, like a sniper. You're not just going to shoot into a crowd anymore. You're picking 1 or 2 targets that you want to take out, and then aiming and focusing all your energy and effort on those outcomes. Your sniper mind becomes part of your game in the code, and it's activated when it becomes relevant. Possibility number 2. You're high on the release, but have learned to focus it only into what you want. You're taking the release, and now it's focused. You're still getting the same benefit of releasing the rage and dealing with the entire cornucopia of feelings with the added piece of the ability to channel your focus. Your focus and your ability to channel your real and raw feelings have become a weapon to you. Possibility number 3. You have a clear short-term targets that guide your release. Part of being relevant is knowing where the fuck you're going. You've got to know where you are in the short term and where you want to go in the long term. If a situation comes up where you get triggered and there's a whole bunch of emotions and feelings, what allows you to deal with all of them? It's the ability to change and transmute them into powerful and productive actions you want to take. Well, how do you do that? You get clear about your short-term and your long-term targets. Possibility number 4. You have clear long-term targets that guide your short-term targets. 2 conversations are in play, short-term and long-term. You're trustworthy about where you're going in the next year, which makes it super easy for you to be able to make short-term decisions this week, 2 weeks from now, or 4 weeks from now that are in alignment with the long-term vision you have for yourself. These 2 pieces blend in conjunction with the other parts of the possibility to create a path of actual power in how we live by the code. The ultimate fuel is worthless if not focused on something relevant, productive, and focused.